Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Shining Brighter. My name's Nick. And if you like the content that I'm putting out, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. Help the channel to grow so I can reach out and help as many people as possible. Today's topic is one that makes a lot of people uncomfortable, and I understand why. And it's about healing your inner child. A lot of people, at face value would probably try to make jokes or laugh about this topic. Probably because they have more trauma than others that needs to be dealt with, and they're not ready to face it. If you look at the factors in your life that really shape who you are as an adult and why you keep repeating certain patterns, there's a very, very high likelihood that it's due to traumatic events that happened in your childhood. Now, not everybody has that, of course. Somebody might have a traumatic or tragic event that happened, in their adult life. But in large part, it's pretty safe to say that we all have something from our childhood to deal with. The reason that it's so hard for people to do is because they probably spent, many, many years trying to bury it, forget it, tell themselves that it didn't happen, or, whatever the case may be, because who wants to go through a trauma twice? Nobody. And that's completely understandable. And if people are not strong enough to do so, don't judge them, because you don't know exactly what they went through. But on the other hand, if you can find the strength and the courage, and it does take both of those things, and you can find yourself a good therapist, or if need be, even up to a psychiatrist, whatever the case is, but somebody that you feel comfortable and safe opening up to. Safety being the key word, because anytime we're dealing with trauma, you're not looking to add to the trauma, you're looking to heal it, to find a safe place. So obviously, if you're gonna face it and discuss it and try and work your way through it, it needs to be with somebody that makes you feel safe. That in itself can be a challenge. I know back when I decided to find a therapist, I reached out to a dozen different therapists, and none of them even got back to me. I was very fortunate that the therapist that I found, and that I've been working with, had an opening and gave me the opportunity to work with her. And I'm so grateful, because without that safe place, without that trust, without the empathy and the understanding, I could not have done all the work that I've done. I'm a very strong person, and I can handle a lot. But at some point, everybody needs to reach out for help, and that's not weakness. That is a sign of strength. And anybody who does reach out and tries to get help, I applaud you. Because it is so difficult sometimes to do the work. Now, I've said many times before, I was also fortunate enough to be referred to an amazing life coach. And between the two of them, I think it really accelerated the work that I needed to do in order to heal. So a lot of times, because we've tried to close ourselves off from that childhood trauma, whatever it was, it can be hard sometimes to recover the memories because you blocked it so strongly. Sometimes you may repeat cycles in life, not realizing that you're doing it because of those childhood traumas. So, as hard as it is, as painful and scary as it can be, the only way to break toxic cycles in your life is to acknowledge the issues, and really commit to finding out where it stems from, and then commit to doing the work to heal from it. It can be uncomfortable when you're talking to whoever it is you placed your trust in, whoever's giving you that safe space, because you're going to be extremely vulnerable in revealing to them what you went through. And you'll, in doing so, if you can keep the strength and the courage going to work through it, you yourself will come to understand how it's affecting you and why it's still affecting you, no matter what your age is. I mean, there's people, who may never heal from things because they don't talk about them, they don't process them, they don't trust anybody with that knowledge. And I get it. I really do. Some people went through some horrific things as kids, things that no child should ever have to go through. And to have to try and, rehash that as an adult and go through it all over again can be extremely emotional. It can be very painful. And you'll probably find that you still have a lot of anger and resentment, and just a lot of pent-up emotions that you didn't really know were still there because you blocked it. Blocking it, by the way, is the absolute worst thing you can do. And again, I'm not judging. I understand it. I do. I'm not telling anybody that they're right or wrong in their approach. My purpose is just to let you know that you can free yourself from it. You can break free from whatever hold it has over you. You can heal. You can conquer it. And you can use it to make you a better version of yourself. One that will never allow that kind of trauma to be put on you again. And let's be clear, I'm not saying that you allowed it in the first place because, if it happened to you as a child, you weren't equipped to deal with whatever it was. None of us are. And we're not supposed to be, because those things aren't supposed to happen to us. But once you do recognize it and you do the work to process it and heal it, it's hard to describe just how much of a weight gets lifted off of you and how much dawns on you, that you were carrying the pain, frustration, guilt, anger, sorrow, whatever the emotions were. You're going to realize you didn't have to carry them. And once they're gone, you feel so much lighter. Now, you'll never forget what happened, But healing it and taking strength from it is the next best thing. And for anybody that has suffered as a childhood trauma of any sort, because there's no ranking, you know, who had the worst, because any trauma as a child, period, is trauma. And everybody reacts differently to whatever's going on in their lives. So for those of you who did experience something traumatic in your childhood, I want you to know that I see you. I feel for you. And more than anything, I want you to know that you are absolutely 100% strong enough to face it. And even more so, you deserve to be free from it. Now, clearly not knowing what you went through and not knowing how you process things, it's easy for me to say that I hope you go do it. I won't think any other way about you than positive and hopeful no matter what you decide. Even if you think about it, you're taking a first step. If you can't because you don't think you can trust anybody, I understand. No judgment again, but I would implore you to keep looking for somebody that you can trust and that does make you feel safe. Because there is no better feeling than healing from something like that and gaining strength and wisdom and understanding. And honestly, even though whatever happened was not your fault, there are a lot of people who blame themselves, you know, saying I should have done this, I should have fought, I should have spoken up. You were a kid. Give yourself some grace. As kids, we're not equipped to handle and process and do what needs to be done. And, you know, in very few cases does that happen. But one of the biggest things that I hope you gain from acknowledging whatever happened to you is that you learn and understand that it's okay to forgive yourself for whatever blame you put on yourself that you don't deserve. So take advantage of whatever services or groups or people, therapists, life coach, psychiatrist, whatever you can. Take full advantage and really open up and get to that inner child. Tell them that it's okay. Tell them it wasn't their fault. And tell them that you got them. Once you can take care of that inner child and you can heal them, again, the reward you're gonna experience, the relief, the joy, you may even, honestly, you might even break down and cry because the emotional toll is huge. But when you let go of it, it's wonderful. So, like I always say, know your value, know your worth, respect yourselves. I see you all for who you really are, and I love you all for it. Please reach out and do whatever you can to make this happen for you. Until next time, have a great day.